Hey, this is Mike Moo, and in this episode I'm going to talk about the Kipon EF-S/E AF adapter version 2. The main reason why you want to get this adapter versus the Sigma MC11 is 1, it's cheaper, 2, it's also firmware upgradable, but most importantly, this will allow you to actually mount Canon EF-S lenses on there. There's no restrictions, unlike the MC11. Okay, so another major thing about this is that Kipon is not new to making these adapters. They've made quite a lot of adapters in the past for different formats, different mounts, and a lot of them have pretty good praise on them. Now, the bad thing about this is that in my tests, you're better off, if you're just going to stick with Sigma art lenses, just get the Sigma MC11 adapter. Okay, this is primarily if you want to use Canon EF-S lenses because you can physically mount them. Construction aside, there are a few differences in there that you can see very easily from this video here. One actually has a foot, the other doesn't. The other one has that nice metal mount over there, and the Kipon does not. And I would say quality-wise, I'd probably give it to the Sigma MC11. They both weigh about the same, so the difference in the quality doesn't seem, too outrageous. Plus, the fit seems to be working out okay, right? It's pretty well engineered and milled, and there's no lens play on these. These aren't cheap adapters. All right, so here's the rest of the tests. So long story short, if you don't want to look at all the rest of the actual footage, live raw footage, and I apologize that it's not really the best, I just wanted to get this video out to you since I didn't have that much time over the weekend like I thought I would, is that on the single 55 to 250 millimeter IS version 2, it works out pretty well. It's pretty fast, and I have absolutely no qualms about using this on that adapter. The only thing is I don't have any other Canon EF-S lenses available to test. So unfortunately, I went to test some of the other lenses that I did a quick roundup on, and the results are very similar. One surprising thing is the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter 1.8 does not focus as fast as one would expect, right? On the 82 millimeter side, it's not great. It's actually medium slow to slow, and on the 35 millimeter side, it's pretty good, right? It gets faster. The regular Sigma Art lenses work out pretty well. Sigma Art Prime lenses, okay, so I'm talking about the new ones. And unsurprisingly, the really older lenses, in this example, I show you the 100mm f2, which I really like. That one does not really focus at all. Okay, it just does not do a great job. All right. So go ahead and check out the rest of the tests. I don't put too many in here. It's starting to get a little dark, but this should give you some sort of idea. If I had more lenses, I'll put them in for the test. Let me know what you want to see tested. Maybe I can find a local copy somewhere and put it through the test with them. All right, this is a test of the Kipon EF-S lens converter that I'm comparing with the Sigma MC11, and this is with the 50mm 1.4R Canon version mount. As you can see, the autofocus is fast, just as what I would expect on a Canon camera, and this is with the a6500 with the latest firmware, which is 1.0, the very first firmware. It actually handles quite well. Now, with a Kipon lens adapter, you're not going to get certain functions, such as the eye autofocus, for instance. But the performance is good. So in a case like this, if you are primarily using this with the 50mm art lens, you're going to get great results. And you can actually save a little bit of money. You can get the Kipon version versus the Sigma MC11 version. Now let me try the constant. Let's change the autofocus setting here. And automatic AF. Let's see, continuous AF. All right, continuous AF. Actually, also really good results as well, which is not really surprising. All right, So I'm satisfied with the 50mm 1.4. It is about, what time is it here? It's about 5 p.m. so it's starting to get a little dark. As you can see, I have it in P mode, automatic mode, and it does a good job. Alright, this is the Canon 55 to 250mm. This is the IS version 2. I have the IS turned off, mostly because having that turned on with the in-body image stabilization is not a good idea. It's just not going to work very well. Alright, so this is at 55. We're doing a quick test here. You can see it's kind of medium, slow, but accurate. This is in constant autofocus. So it's not quite as fast as the Sigma Art lens, but in comparing this with, all right, let's do the full zoom. In comparing this with the Sigma MC11, it's not even possible with the MC11, right? Because it just simply doesn't fit. Medium focus. Sorry about the shakiness of this. I'm trying to do this one hand. But you know what? It's acceptable. I can't imagine this focusing that much faster on a regular Canon body, but I'll try it on the 80D and let you know what I think. But I find this to be a perfectly acceptable job for consumer-grade lens that you can get $400. All right, let me switch up the focus mode here real quick. Single shot. Yeah, that was pretty slow, moving from one focus range to the other focus range. That was really close up. That's far away. Let's do that count again. Close. All right. Focus. All right. 1, 2, all right, just over 2 seconds, I'd say, to get from one focal range really close up at 55. 1, all right, 1, 2, yeah, just over two seconds. So the performance is perfectly acceptable for a Canon range lens of this caliber, which is pretty old and pretty cheap, right? Optically, this is supposed to have better performance than the Sony. Of course, with the Sony, you're going to get all the special intelligent lens focus functions, which is obviously invalid with this lens. Just not going to happen. You don't get any of that. Plus, this lens is physically bigger than the 55 to 250 Sony equivalent, but it's also only $100. All right, this is the venerable Sigma 18 to 35. Again, also in P mode. Let's check out the focus capability of there. Feels slower than the 50mm 1.4. All right, but maybe it's just on my head. Actually, yeah, maybe it is just a little bit, maybe slower, a little bit of hesitation, just a little bit. But you know what? It's practically negligible. I really. Okay, hold on. Let me see. All right, ready? 1. Yeah. So it looks like it's just less than a second, various different range here. So this right now is at 18. Actually, at 18 it's a little bit longer. Yeah. So 18, 1, 2. Yeah, 2 seconds. 2 seconds to focus at 18mm when you're focusing up close versus somewhere in the distance. Up close, ready, set, 1, 2. Wow, 2 seconds. 18mm, it's a lot slower. All right, now let's try it 35mm, close up. All right, close up, confirmation. 1. Ooh, it is faster at 35mm than it is at 18. Now, seeing that that is the case, I'm not sure how fast that is on the MC11 just off the top of my head right now. I just remember I was somewhat disappointed with the performance of the MC11. And this one, right, 1, 2, okay. So it seems this one is a little bit more challenging for it. 1, okay, let's try that again. So it varies between 1 second, roughly about a second for something's really close up at the full 35mm versus far away. 1, okay. So it's between 1 and 2 seconds at 18mm is the one where it's a little disappointing in the performance. So this is the 18mm focus confirmation there, right? 1, 2, yeah, about 2 seconds or so. So at 18mm, it's actually fairly poor autofocus performance with the Kipon EF-S lens from the Canon mount over to the Sony mount. That's too bad. Alright, this is the Canon 100mm 2.8L. Had great performance on this with the Bavai's version reported. So let's do that test here. It's a little bit of hesitation back and forth, just a little bit. 1, 2, oh, well, there's quite a bit when it's up close. It just can't figure it out. Based on the scene, I guess. So this might make sense to set the specific spot for autofocus. Look at that. It can't handle that. Notice it is getting a little dark. I'm at ISO 2500. That could have an effect on the focusing capability. Let me try. Let's try the center. No, still a little bit of hesitation there. Yep, look at that. Back and forth, back and forth. Just can't lock on there. So, this is not good for the 100mm 2.8, which is kind of really surprising because with the Bavai's, I had great performance. Yeah, this is might need to limit the focal range. Might need to switch to manual focus with the regular one. Hopefully there's an update that'll fix this. I can't. Yeah, that is a bit of a shame. Yeah, some things just really trick it up. Look at that. All right, this is the final test for the evening. It's starting to get a little dark here. This is the Canon 40mm EF-S STM lens. All right. 1. Oh, that's pretty fast. 1. Yeah, less than a second. This is one of the newer lenses. This is that one example where I said, hey, if you got a newer lens, expect pretty fast focus with it. This one handles very well. It's actually one of the faster focusing lenses I've tested so far on the Kipon Bavai's. No, Kipon EF-S. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, this test is the 100mm f2. This is a super sharp lens. Unfortunately, it's also one of my older lenses, and this did not fare well at all with the Bavai's Kipon. They would just hunt. Looks like it's the same thing here. We're not going to get focus confirmation at all. Yep. Not central target, not wide. You don't get to collect $200, you don't get a pass go. This is absolutely a no-go. This is not going to work. Yeah, that's a real shame that I'm not going to get autofocus at f2 with this adapter. All right. This is the 100mm f2 with the Sigma MC11 adapter, and it focuses really well. It actually handles itself quite nicely. So this is the only converter out of the 3 that I can recommend for the 100mm f2, which is nice super sharp lens. I'm really glad that this works with the Sigma MC11, and focus speed is fantastic. Let's see. Yeah, focus speed is fantastic. This is what I would consider a pretty fast focusing lens with the MC11 adapter. Look at that, all at f2 and at ISO 2000.